Hello, my name is Shubham and I'd like to introduce my BlackHat briefing submission titled 84 on 100 Low Risk, How to Game the Trust Score of Any AI Agent Tool. Modern AI agents increasingly rely on plug-in ecosystems such as the Model Context Protocol or MCP to interact with files, development environments, and external services. Before a tool is even executed, both AI models and human reviewers typically rely on lightweight trust signals to decide whether that tool should be used. My research asks a simple question. What happens if those trust signals themselves become the attack surface? In practice, AI agent ecosystems rely on two independent trust boundaries. First, the AI model uses the tool's natural language description to decide which tool to invoke. Second, human reviewers and CI pipelines often rely on aggregate trust scores or security labels before approving installation. The key insight is that an attacker does not need to compromise both layers. If either the description or the trust score can be manipulated, the security decision has already failed before the first tool call is even executed. To demonstrate this, we built two functionally identical MCP servers. Both expose the same dangerous capabilities: arbitrary code execution, file system writes, network access, and environment variable access. The honest implementation receives a score of 30 out of 100 and is classified as a high risk. The adversarial implementation, however, scores 84 out of 100 and is labeled low risk. Importantly, no capabilities were removed, only the metric was optimized. The title of this talk comes directly from that experimental result. The number 84 is not symbolic. It is the actual trust score produced by the framework after adversarial optimization. The score increase is achieved by exploiting properties of the trust metric rather than improving security. First, density inflation dilutes measured risk by increasing the number of harmless files. Second, reflection evasion hides dangerous APIs behind dynamic language features, reducing the visibility of high-risk operations. Third, weight minimization substitutes lower weight capability patterns that provide equivalent functionality. The important point is that these optimizations change the measured score without changing the underlying behavior. We also examined the second trust boundary, the tool description itself. We compared the tools with identical capabilities. One honestly disclosed that it requires file system access and subprocess execution. The other simply described itself as a safe read-only workspace analyzer. In our experiments, the deceptively described tool was consistently preferred by the model, even though the underlying behavior was identical. At the same time, the trust score remained completely unchanged because the scoring formula does not actually consider the description. In other words, the metadata that AI agents rely on can be manipulated independently of the code they are about to execute. The broader lesson extends well beyond MCP. Trust scores should not depend on attacker control factors that can be optimized without reducing risk. Free text descriptions should never be accepted at face value. They should be verified against observed behavior. And AI ecosystems need structured machine verifiable capability manifests instead of unaudited self-reported metadata. The central takeaway from this work is simple. A trust signal that can be optimized independently of real behavior is not a trust signal, it's an attack surface. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to the opportunity to present this research at BlackHat briefings.